Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Watercooler. This is N Canada, pronouns they, them, and head of community at Livepeer. So, to start, we'll do some announcements. The first one is we had our first delegator workshop, at least in recent memory for me, at a venue in Abuja, Nigeria. It was attended by approximately 45 people, and from that, we got 20 new delegators, which is pretty exciting. Now, if they stay around, remains to be seen, but still a pretty good signal from that event. Additionally, we have another online workshop that will be happening on Wednesday, and that can be you can RSVP to that if you want, even if you want to just spin up a new wallet and hold some LPT in that for a month. And then we have another one in Salt Lake City on Saturday. And we have a decent amount of RCPs to the Salt Lake one, not as many for the online one. But again, this is the first trial, so we have some budget there that we'll be able to spend and continue to do more workshops, which is pretty cool. Outside of that, another pretty big announcement is that we have reached another all-time high on the network for fees. I think it was 16,000. I don't have the number in front of me, but that's a pretty massive increase. Maybe the last time we saw that was during the first launch of the AI network. So again, huge shout to HSP, AISPE, and of course transcoding fees that are making that possible. I love to see that diversification of network utilization. So very, very cool, very, very excited. Yeah, it's awesome that we're really gaining traction there. And I think that are all the big announcements. The last one is the summit is coming up. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be reaching out to a number of people this week, kind of to gauge interest. So feel free to either reach out if you're already interested, or I'll be reaching out to all the people who show up to the community stuff. Um, and that will be it for me for today. I'll hand it over to Rick for foundation and updates.
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, it's green. Nice. Great. I'm Rick. I'm the technical director at the foundation. So here I'm to give some update on the advisory report about the foundation. So if you don't know what the foundation is, we launched it officially, I think, at the beginning of this month. The mission of the Livepeer Foundation is to steward the long-term vision, ecosystem growth, and core development of the network. As part of this process, we created or established 4 advisory boards with community members and their external experts, and those were established to provide clear pathways for the ecosystem stakeholders to participate in the strategy setting of like the Livepeer network as a whole. We have 4 boards. It's network growth, governance, and market. And each board have their focus on different key questions. Networks is more about how does the Livepeer create a high-performance network as a product to build on and to contribute to? The growth one is how does Livepeer generate and diversify demand on the network? Where government answers the question how does Livepeer product progressively decentralize into a community governed protocol? And lastly, the market is about how do we questions like how do we improve the experience for token holders and accessibility of the token. I will share some resources in the chat for people to read up, and I will give a quick update on like the current the status of the advisory board strategy setting. So I linked the links in the chat, so if people want to read up on topics around this. For the advisory board, so at the advisory board, we are nearing the final stages of the advisory board's strategy setting. Last week, the growth board, network boards aligned on the technical go-to-market strategic bets, which fall in 2 main categories. We aligned on infrastructure bets, meaning core network capabilities where Live is uniquely positioned to meet demand at scale. So that will be, for example, real-time AI video analysis, real-time generated video, open infrastructure for decentralized social, and things like AI-powered video agent and economic actors. But also on ecosystem bets, this is more general. So what main network capabilities can we add to the network to really um, generate demand? So how do we set up the network as itself, a network as product up for success? So this alignment provided very valuable insights, a lot of nice discussions between the advisory board members, and we'll be sharing this to the community later this week. So during last week, also all boards refined their technical recommendations for the Livepeer ecosystem, which are actionable steps the network can take over the next 6 and 12 months to advance to the strategic pillars and accelerate towards the go-to-market vision. So the strategic pillars were already posted on the form. That was done in the initial phases of like the advisory board process, and now we have been working on the technical recommendations. So we're really close to wrapping this up, with the final recommendations set to be published next week. So Rich will confirm this in the Wednesday, I think it is, fireside. So as always, if you have any questions about the foundation, let me know. We have also a release notes that we post in the Discord. I don't have the link ready here, but I will provide a link in the chat. So that will give you a weekly update of what the foundation is doing. So that's this link. So that was my update from the foundation. If there are any questions, let me know. I'm here to answer questions. We also have Joseph in the
Amazing.
audience.
Thank you so much, Rick. And I was again in the governance advisory board, and feeling pretty good about the tactical recommendations that we made. So excited for those to be released to the community, and it'll be good to kind of get y'all's feelings on how we make those actionable, how we push forward on them, and of course, if you guys have any feedback, like Rick and Joseph have mentioned many times, feel free to send that their way, either on the forum, ideally, but of course, you can always message in the server as well. All right, so first I'll just touch on let me touch Summit first, then we'll do Delegator Workshop, and then Bull Market, and then we'll talk about some other things that you guys mentioned. For the Summit, I'm not leading on that, but Carlota is leading there alongside with Foundation. So the big thing right now is we're in the phase of trying to understand what you guys want from that event. So we have kind of a structure that we're planning on conference style, conversational, really centering y'all's expertise as some of the kind of main figures in our ecosystem and community. But we do want to hear from you on what would make it valuable. Currently, we're looking at it from that advisory board perspective of the pillars and trying to understand like each pillar more deeply, understand what you guys want to see in terms of ecosystem progress, and talking about how we solve the biggest problems currently at Livepeer. I want it to be like quite an honest space of where we're coming together, ideating, identifying problems, ideating on solutions, and maybe aligning around how we can get those things done. That is the shape of it as it stands now. I will be reaching out to folks, like I said, and there will be more details in that message. But right now, we're still in the interest gathering phase. And based on who's attending and who's said they want to attend, we're going to shape the unconference to who's coming. So it will be a pretty tailored experience, and we also want it to be quite exclusive in the sense that we want people who are the main movers and shakers from the delegated orchestrator gateway perspective to be there, because you guys are the main stakeholders in a lot of ways. So that's the shape of the summit, but feel free to ask any questions. Again, I'm not the lead here, so I don't have 100% of the context, but I can answer to the best of my ability.
Hi, and just to follow up on that,
Mm-hmm.
so what other side events are happening? Like, is this just a standalone event for Livepeer, or is there
Correct.
other parallel crypto events or people going to be around? Like, I'm just kind of curious.
So it was decided that this would happen. So Inc. is going to be doing like an offsite, and it is happening like during so we'll be there for like a week, and then it'll be happening in that week that the whole Inc. plus a few SP folks will all be there in person. So basically, the core team on the Inc. side and also Foundation now, and then ASBE, we're all going to be there. So that is why we are doing it this time. It was decided that we're not going to have it at a side event. There was idea was thrown around about Argentina during is it DevConnect I think, but it was decided to have it in Portugal.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, again, the intention as I'm going to reach out to a number of you guys. The intention is to make it the most valuable for you, and we'll see in terms of like support in getting there. I think right now there's not, but that might change. So it's TBD. But again, we're still in the planning phase. So you can have input in terms of what you want it to be as well. And I want it to be the most useful for all of you guys, especially if you're gonna take the time and money to travel. All right. Again, any other thoughts? Feel free to message me or message in the server, and I will be reaching out to a lot of you with more information. Okay, Delegator Workshop. I kind of gave some updates in the announcements, but we did the first one in Abuja, Nigeria, and that again had 44 attendees. I think the big thing, the learning from that is in person, they were doing it on, a lot of them were on mobile, and on mobile, they were struggling with Wallet Connect. They were using Rainbow in specific, and they were struggling getting Rainbow to connect to the Explorer. I was able to do it on my phone through the Rainbow's like native Explorer. However, we had Winner, who was the one who was leading the workshop, try it, and it didn't work on his end. So I know mobile can be more hit or miss, but ideally, I'm not sure from a technical level if we can tighten that experience up, but that was the biggest feedback I got, was just mobile was not that accessible or easy. I'll see in my workshop, so I'm doing the one on Wednesday and then the one on Saturday. We'll see if people can more easily do it in those venues. But the goal was, my original goal was to try to get 200 new delegators. We will probably be shy of that goal, but still, it is giving early signal that maybe this delegator workshop model can be effective in terms of increasing the delegate count on the network. Potentially, we'll continue working with that, have workshops in maybe more relevant places than Salt Lake, and because Salt Lake is not really a crypto city. But maybe SF or New York City or maybe Toronto, at least in North America. And we can, of course, do it in other places around the world. And that can help build our presence in communities globally. So, but yeah, the trial's going well. Some early signal there. And, my main note on the Explorer experience is mobile is a bit tough. Does anybody have insights there on maybe if I use MetaMask it'd be better, or yeah?
So, and I had the same problem with Wallet Connect and other wallets. And the way that I solved it was to download on-chain, which is a wallet from a particular company. I will paste it here. And it has an in-app browser, which does not have any issues at all. And it's super easy, I think, to use. Maybe you can use that.
Okay, yeah, and that was my experience. I couldn't get it to work, through just like using a browser like Brave. I use Brave. I couldn't get it to work through Brave, but when I tried it in the in-app and Rainbow, it worked. But when I was saying that it wasn't working in Nigeria, Carlock, to your message, I agree and I disagree. I think yes, we do need a more scalable growth vehicle for delegators, and I think having it online, having a video would be really effective. And also, there's a piece of when you're building a community from I think Livepeer is still trying to get out there. Yeah, crypto.com. I feel like it's gotten better though. Recently, I feel like crypto.com is pretty good. But yeah, so when we're trying to scale any sort of like community thing, often you do need to start with kind of this slower IRL experience, and that's kind of why I started there. Right, we do have an online workshop on Wednesday, and now I created the workshop materials, so it's pretty easy to kind of do a ton of them. But um, we do get traffic to the website. I'm not sure that's going to be the conversion metric that we think it could be, or that you think it might be. Um, it's possible, but how not probable. And the other thing too is we're providing, again, it's not a ton of LPT, but $10 in LPT up front, to get kind of incentivize. And if you hold that, again, we'll have to see there. But the idea is, how do we get people mission vision aligned to be delegators and then to show up in a meaningful way in our server and have that conversion happen. So again, always open to more thoughts, and I do think it's a good idea to one second, someone's requesting, never mind. I do think it's a good idea to kind of make that primer on the website. Also, Carl, like, be nice. All right. Well, that's my update there. No, thank you. Well, that's my update there. Any other thoughts or perspectives? Again, willing to hear your feedback. Nice for scammer. Oh, I didn't know they were a scammer. Sorry. Yeah. Any thoughts on delegator stuff? All right. I'll take that as a note. Okay. So the next topic is. I'm apparently too nice. Yeah. So bull market thoughts. So I have been seeing on my Twitter feed that we're in the bull market apparently, and again, that's always so like, well, who decides? But I don't know. I've been observing a kind of stark difference between this quote unquote bull market and historic bull markets. I mean, I've only been around for the 2020, 2021 bull market and then subsequent bear market. But yeah, I was just curious if people have any feelings on, how you're seeing this, evolve, what the opportunities are for us at Livepeer, from a community perspective. But yeah, I just found it to be quite a different flavor than the first one I experienced, which was this kind of like, maybe we're not at the height yet, but even the preamble, I was there for like, the preamble to the bull market and wrote it up and then down. I felt like the energy was very different at that time. So I'm curious if people have thoughts.
I can give my opinion here. I think it's a very interesting topic. And indeed, I think that this circle is differentiated because on the really bold cycles, we had really low interest rates. And now what we see is a stagnant interest rates, which are either kept at the same level or even increased, but if I remember well, for some time they're stagnant. And so the actual bull market, I believe, will come the time that we started to see the interest rates from the American side, like from the Fed. Yes. So, and also, I do believe that this circle is greatly undervalued on the actual utility tokens. We haven't really see any kind of utility defining price movement in this sense. They really believe what we are doing all in the space of digital assets and artificial intelligence is like super. It will be even more. It will become even better as time passes. So we haven't really seen the price moving towards that.
Yeah, and Rick, thanks for that article. Definitely, the current U.S. administration is much more crypto friendly. And I think that is going to play a role for sure. And I, and Authority Null in the comments said it's a bull market led by the suits. And that's kind of what I was thinking. That's why it's a bit quiet, right? It's not retail. It's, kind of quiet, large corporation kind of jumping into the game. But I think my perspective is how that is actualized is less through price action and more through, subsequently it would be price action, but more through investment in companies. And my thesis, and this was before I joined Livepeer, but the reason I went in starts in 60 days. Yeah, and also we're not in altcoin season technically yet, as per CoinMarketCap's tracker. But my perspective and the reason why I started working professionally in Web3 was because I felt that the biggest upside would no longer be in necessarily holding a token, but in actually becoming an industry expert where big companies will fund other companies and you want to be in that arena as that happens. So I know, oddly specific. Titan, Oracle Titan. Let's see if he's right. 60 days. Okay, so let's wait. Everyone record it. Write it down. So July, August. So late September. You're thinking not financial advice. Never financial advice. But anyway, so I think I think the reason I think this topic's important is for Livepeer as a project. It's important for us to kind of, again, not in a super speculative way, but in a more logical market way, trying to understand like what are the winds, how are the winds blowing, what's the best way for us to grow the community here, for us to get more traction for the project and more utility on what we're building. And my perspective here is that Daydream, while not super central in this space, Daydream as a AI product that is not Web3 forward is actually a really, really strong departure and perspective on the productization of Livepeer's network. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm landing there. Okay, CoinShare's weekly inflows breakdown shows inflow by institutions, which is insightful. Showing institutional funds. Ooh, very good resource, Joseph. Any other big?
Just like to add.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I think building on the sentiment that it's a market driven by the suit, so to speak. I think there's a ton of market potential in Livepeer, tapping into this AI demand that we see across, every industry today. Building containers that fit those use cases and meeting the market where the demand is at is going to be the most exciting part of this.
Yeah, and I think you can even see that on network fees, right? It hasn't been that long since we kind of moved into a more AI direction on the network, and we've already eclipsed fees on network from transcoding, and it hasn't even been that long. And we're just kind of starting to, from a network perspective, and again with BYOC that you guys are doing at the AI SPE, like we're really just starting to get to the place where it can be, deployable at a larger scale, and we're already seeing, strong utilization. Again, maybe induced demand, but I think still it is a clear signal on the network.
And the Daydream use case, that targets video, it's really narrow, whereas AI can do so many things. Of course, we're seeing that with the agent SP, but I'm very excited about the capabilities that Comfy Stream and Comfy UI provide, and being able to build like very configurable workflows and meet a variety of needs without a lot of overhead. Obviously, it's taken a bit of work to get it to that maturity to where it can support different types of workflows. at production scale, but I feel like we're getting really close to that, and would love to share some updates here in a bit. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal the floor there.
Oh no, I mean we're having a conversation, so it's totally fine. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Oh, also, Mike, I didn't welcome you. I'm not sure if you had a topic for today, but welcome.
Hello. No, sorry, no topic just yet.
Just present. Thank you for showing up. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm aligned with Null here, where it's a very different type of bull market. But again, right, as Carlex said in chat, bull market where, right? So I think it's it's still kind of like, is it even? Have we really reached that kind of froth, as some people say? I think it remains to be seen. But anyway, I thought it would be an interesting conversation to bring up today, just because I've been seeing people in my timeline start saying that, and I'm just like, oh, when the people, when my mutuals start being like, hey guys, guess what? It's just a physical. It's, I always think it's a good thing to mention. All right. Well, any other thoughts? Feel free to drop those in general. But yeah, we can go over to you, John, on the dedicated API. I would love to hear more about that. We're still below 2021, including inflation. Oh, good to know. Stable coins.
Yeah. Exciting market activity there. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, so just following up on our bring your own container project, just wanted to give an update on the ComfyStream side of things. Over the past few weeks, we built around a package called PyTrickle, which interfaces Python applications directly with Go Livepeer. This allowing us to decode video coming out of Go Livepeer and re-encode it back out. And we built a ComfyStream API around this that allows us to stop streams, check on the status of streams. We have a few other features that are still in draft, which allow us to do multiple.
I think we lost you, John. Is it my end, or is it?
No, I also don't hear John anymore.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, I lost his audio as well.
Okay, cool. I was just like, the silence. All right, we'll wait for.
If it's not him, it might be you.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, we will wait on John to return to us from the void. Yeah, Rick, that graph was not very nice for me. I'll tell you what. Okay, that makes me feel better. All right. Well, maybe we can move on to Titan, and then we'll jump back to John when he reconnects to us.
Hey everyone. Yeah, no, just kind of was. I was gonna have something to share, but didn't get the demo ready. But anyway, yeah, we're just including all these updates from our technical artist Dane, giving the agent more emotions. So look for that on the Sarah upgrade in a few days, where she's a lot more agile and able to kind of adjust her face emotionally as well as physically. So those have seen the X animated live streaming Annie. She's a full body agent and she has all these gestures, and the gestures get a little repetitive, but nonetheless it's extremely cool. And high quality. However, she's anime, and so we're going with meta-human look. So we're going to be working a lot more on the facial expression and trying to get that stuff all done. So in the next couple days, if you play the game, you should see those upgrades, and yeah, happy to kind of share some of those as they happen. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Nothing big, just kind of working on stuff and trying to make a product that people want to use. So thanks.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Titan, for all the hard work. All right. Well, I don't see John, unfortunately. But I don't have any other. I don't have any other topics, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to come back or not. Peter, unless you want to come up and share in his stay. Oh, John's back. Let me invite him up. %. Oof. USD is weak, man. Oh, brother. Okay, thanks, John. Yeah, we will see what happens. We'll see how things go. Yay. But yeah, it's interesting the focus on crypto in the US right now from the current administration. It's like very, I don't know, it seems counterintuitive to me, but I'm excited. I mean, for us it's good. But we'll see how it all pans out. Does anyone have any insights on is it the Clarity Act? I was reading it the other day. A bit legalese for me, but I was kind of, it was interesting in terms of how they're redefining what a digital asset is. I don't know where that falls for Livepeer for any company, honestly. That's funny, Carla. But yeah, I don't know what I think it'll take a while for it to kind of be implemented. Yes, let me invite you up. Jose Vera, if you have something to say. Welcome up. Hello. Jose Vera, are you here? Welcome up. Yeah, it's an uncertain time. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, to be honest. At least in the U.S. There's a Clarity Act, and there's another one I think, but I can't remember what it was called. Was it the Genius Act? Oh, and while we're waiting for John, I actually have a funny story. Oh, Genius has packed on Friday. These names I know, Rick. I had a friend who found an old Bitcoin wallet that they had from years ago, and I was helping them check what the balance was or what the value was, and we were all hanging out, and then like they, because I'm like the crypto expert of my friend group, and they were all like, "Oh my God, what if you're a millionaire?" I was like, "Maybe," and then we checked. There was nothing in either of them. They were empty, so that was a big letdown. Maybe more for my friend than for me, but like I was hoping they got something in there. I know, Rick, stop! Don't push! Don't rub it in my face. Yeah, the bill names are just a little bit. All right, John able to come up? Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, oh, because they said they had like $20 10 years ago in Bitcoin, and I was like, oh wow, like that's like significant. And they checked it, and it was like 45 5 years ago, and I was like, oh wow, like you might have not a ton of money, but like maybe a few grand, but then it was empty, and I felt really bad for them. Yeah, thanks for jumping in, Joseph, and feel free if people need to jump, no worries. I just wanted see if John can come back up and finish the topic, but if not, um, there's no other topics for today. I know, Severa, we can't hear you, so I'm not sure if it's your mic or not, but thanks for joining. I'm not sure if I've seen you before. All right. Dang, John's left again.
It's sad. I was very curious about the updates.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the suspense is killing me. Maybe the AASP can do a not water cooler, excuse me, fireside soon.
Yeah, it would be nice. Brad just sent me like a demo, so I think people would be really interested.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we
Brad's
should
been
totally
doing
do
really
that.
great work. I'm looking forward to the. I think Brad just did the Data Channel Journal, or Peter just correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm looking forward to that, seeing real-time transcriptions, also video understanding, other use cases get on like the Livepeer network on an easier way than the core team just having to implement everything themselves. I think it's a good route forward.
Oh, we have John back in the room. John, welcome.
Ah, nice.
Hey everyone.
Yay!
I had a sort of a demo and a bit of notes up, and the whole system just crashed, so I might need a second to get everything back up.
All right, no worries. No Severa, welcome back up.
I don't think I'll have the demo to run, but let me just go ahead and.
No worries. And you can always do the demo on Wednesday if you want. We have slots.
Cool. Yeah, I've actually got a little video I'm working on now that I'll post in Discord at least, and
okay, cool.
Definitely do something like that too. And I think we'll have something even better to share next week. But essentially, just wanted to give an update on our Bring Your Own Container project and how we're integrating with the Livepeer network. So our work is focused on utilizing a package we pulled out of AI Runner, basically, and made a package called PyTrickle. This allows developers to interface directly with Go Livepeer to receive, decode video and audio, and also encode that and send it back into Go Livepeer. So it's a very critical, important component to processing multimedia with AI. And Trickle is also a generic protocol developed internally at Livepeer here by Josh, as a guy who's helped out a lot on the transcoding side. So Trickle has an advantage to it because your data transfer is not individual frames, but entire segments that are larger. So you get better efficiency with data transfer. Aside from that, we are working on a few other projects that are going to follow up on the heels of this ComfyStream API and separate container approach, allowing ComfyStream to process real-time audio transcription as our first use case that's on the roadmap. And we're also looking at supporting multi-process inference. And this would allow us to isolate inference into different worker streams. So you end up with like a RESTful API where ComfyStream can handle different workflows and different AI inference jobs apart from each other, as well as like pre-warming pipelines and improving the availability of the network. And a few other just quick housekeeping things. We are working on RTX 5090 support. We've identified that as an important strategic piece with the stream diffusion work that's also going on to align our dependencies to support that. as well as we've also spiked Comfy UI latest version 0344, which will allow Comfy Stream to be used with the latest version of Comfy UI. So that's just a quick update this week and what we've been doing this month. And we're going to get Armagap updated here shortly with more of our current roadmap, now that we have a better idea of where we're at.
Very exciting. Thank you for the update, John. Also, Rick, is Streamplays live with AI transcription?
Not yet, but I was looking forward to
coming
that.
soon.
I think John is and team are working together with Eli on it.
Ah, okay, so coming soon to a theater near you. Love that. Well, again, thank you, AISB, for the hard work. Continues to pay dividends. And yeah, I'm excited to see kind of what people do with BYOC. And definitely we can open the floodgates to builders once we have that tool in hand. Because, I think historically it was like, you guys had to do a lot of work, but now it'll be pretty easy for folks to onboard themselves and explore different use cases, no?
Yeah, I'd add like supporting other SPs. Like I know Agent SP has driven a lot of demand in the network, and excited about what they've created. I understand that they also have a use case for sending video back out through Go Livepeer, and I think this PyTrickle package could be really useful for that. Jason on our team is also working on a more standalone BYOC container, which also utilizes PyTrickle. This is this is not a comfy stream approach, but it's more of a generic pipeline approach, kind of like what we did last year with our batch, where we did have to do a little work overhead to build in new pipelines. There is some advantages to comfy stream as a workflow tool, but there's also some simplicity that can be we can benefit from like more simple BYOC pipelines. So that's another thing that we're looking at with the audio transcription. And then other use cases to consider, right? You have language translation, API services that can do that. I think there's a huge potential user base and demand for these inference jobs.
Awesome. The gates are open, as Defense said.
And John, the nice thing that you guys have it as like importable packages, right? So Trickle is an importable package, so you have a template that you work on, and people can easily extend it like that, right? So if they want to add more features.
All right. Any other thoughts for John or ASP folks?
Oh, I was muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, were you talking?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to add that I think what the advantage of this installable trickle package with Python is, if we have many BYOC containers, they're all using the same standard format, and it can be installable. And so we're still planning to sync up with the core team and decide how this could be a part of AI Runner as well to help bring better parity.
Amazing. And were you interested in getting a slot this week, or do you want to wait till next week, John? For Fireside, sorry.
Let's, if we can give it next week, that
Okay,
would be
that's fine.
great. I know, just need some time to align with the rest of the team. I like to say a lot of very positive stuff, but all this is still in draft branches right now. But I think we're making really great progress, and we have a good architectural plan.
Alrighty. Okay, sounds good to me. We will get you on the books for next week. I will tell Carlota that. Awesome. Well, if there's nothing else, we can wrap Watercooler for today. Yeah, and we'll keep an eye on the market conditions because, of course, hopefully as they improve, that opens up doors for us as well. All right. we will catch you guys in the next one.